All right, first question.
Yeah. So we got 0-2 start. You know, explain.
Yeah, man. There's just some things that are out of our control, and it's bitter. It's like a double-edged sword, right? I mean, we've got one of the youngest running back cores here, in Gibbs and Brees Hall. And Hall coming off an ACL injury, and both head coaches really taking it real slow with both of them. We like it. We don't like it. The future looks really bright, but what can I do, right? So, getting on the phone with Dan Campbell, getting on the phone with, and it's like, let's get some more reps with these guys. All right, I can't win if Brees Hall has 4 carries. I mean, you gotta understand, like when I talk my shit, it's because I'm expecting, like 13, 18 carries. But when Brees Hall has 4 carries, there's no way that anybody's gonna win. I mean, not even Todd Gurley in his prime could do anything with
I don't
four
know about
carries.
that. At least hot out of this.
But
Go
that's.
ahead.
But next question. You in the back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, jeez, man. A lot of people been hitting me up, asking me what do I think. I'm not sure. I told them I'd come straight to the source. Like, when are we thinking Diggs hits the market?
Diggs Diggs has always been on the market. I've been always open to trades for anybody. I'm not one to just, say this guy's off limits. The problem with Diggs is you can't offer me 2 players for Diggs. You know what I mean? Like Diggs is one of a kind. And you're going to give me 2 people to equal his production when he's one man producing, numbers that you would sometimes need a flex and your wide receiver 2 to produce, or like your second running back or your flex. Like, he's just too valuable, and I think my price is too high for anybody to like reasonably, give me an offer. And some people will say, oh, what about picks? And picks I think are starting to really lose their value. Only because it's kind of like up in the air if you're really going to get the first round pick. And even multiple round picks. Like, I need Stephon now. I need Diggs now. I don't think we're looking to the future anymore. I think the next 3 years are ours. And so I think that's where we're at in terms of Diggs hitting the market.
Wow, next 3 years. And then the last question, just again, head and shoulders Bijan over Jahmyr Gibbs. Montgomery with a thigh bruise could be back. We'll see. Might even play this week. But does Gibbs wake up this week and show you something, or does he just come out again and just fucking disappoint?
Again,
Does Swift outshine him?
Gibbs had 7 carries. I mean, I don't know what you guys want with like 7 carries. I can't tell you the truth because Dan Campbell, they've got enough additional offense to not really need to run it. I think even in week 2, the run game was kind of like overshadowed by the receiving game, right? Josh Reynolds went off, and that was with Amon-Ra. Not really. I think he had 100 yards. I think that's about it. 102 yards. Thanks. I appreciate the correction.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of like good receiving options. Jared Goff just really showing that he is a competent quarterback. And I don't know. I mean, they've been so safe with Gibbs that I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to be safe with him. Throw this other no-name running back out there to eat like an absolute dog that hasn't been eaten in days, right? Because that's what they did with Montgomery, right? Week 1, 21 rushes. Bro, that guy's like 20. He's like 31. You don't send people like that. But I'll leave you with this. Would you rather put the miles on a Bugatti, or would you rather put the miles on a 2000 Camry? Year 2000 Camry with 250,000 miles. That's reliable and, gets the job done well enough. And I think that's where Dan Campbell's looking for.
Is that rhetorical or can I ask? That
No,
one real quick?
no. I mean, usually the reporters ask me
There's
questions.
there's been
and
some
I
back and
kinda,
forth. There's been some back and forth in the
I
press
don't know
conference. I mean,
if
you ask me a question, like, you know what I'm saying?
All right,
Like,
I'll
I put
let
the
you-
miles,
all
I'm
right.
going to put the miles on the Ferrari. Like, I'm not going to buy it and leave it in the garage. Like, we're talking about the fucking Ferrari.
Right.
Like, if I got one, let's drive it. You know what I'm saying? What am I saving it for? Like,
I think you're saving it for when the time is right. I think running backs as a whole, like who's the most valuable running back out there right now? Probably Bijan.
Bijan.
Bijan, because everybody else is injured, right? I think the next to go is Christian McCaffrey, right? But after that, in terms of running backs,
Probably
who do you what comes off your head? Eckler's already injured.
Probably Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker, maybe. I mean, he's got a lot to prove, but again, like. There's just different...
It's my turn in the press conference. Get the hell off the stand. Like, what are we doing? Like, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna be talked down by this guy. Like, I'm asking you the questions. I'm done. Like, it's my turn to get the press conference. Yeah.
All right, Coach. Your team is very boom or bust, and they have lately, week 1 and 2, have boomed. Garrett Wilson went 2 for 8 for 83 yards and a touchdown. And, I mean, his yardage and his touchdown came on one passing play. And Zach Wilson had a 44% completion percentage on 27 attempts and only 170 yards, a touchdown, and 3 interceptions. What week do you think you bench Garrett Wilson for Gabe Davis?
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be like a Gabe. I don't know if it's straight up for Gabe Davis like that. I think that we're an honest group here. Like you said, like when Aaron went down, like we took it on the chin. We understood. It wasn't over, but it definitely affected Garrett. But he's come out back-to-back weeks with a touchdown. It was 2 catches for like 83 yards and a score. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I always go back to this is standard. Like just watch the game. Like Garrett Wilson had a good game, right? So there you see it in the box score for the Kingdom. What I was pondering today though is that Kamara, this is his last week. He's coming back. I'm gonna have some tough decisions with him in Montgomery, and then I like the big 3 receiver, but it could be where Zach Wilson's holding my guy Garrett back, and we gotta throw Montgomery in the flex just to get Kamara and K9 the ball.
Okay. Roschon Johnson's your guy. You've been really big on him, but Gus is getting the start this week.
Yes.
Can you walk us through that logic? Just because you were so big on Roschon, you liked week 1, and I'm assuming you like what you saw in week 2.
Yes.
Why don't put your money where your mouth is?
Oh yeah, I marked him as my keeper already, my rookie keeper for next year. He's in the farm system right now. Like usually I do is just like a no shot thing, but like as you're even seeing, it's like damn, like why isn't he like if you're questioning like why isn't he starting him, like that means that we're on a good pace here with Roschon Johnson. Like Gus Edwards, like I said, I think I sneaked him off the wire. Like people were going for like Justice Hill, who sucks. They were going for like Puka Nuka, he blows. But
He was a free agent pickup.
Yeah, so was Gus Edwards. I just picked him up.
Oh, right.
I snuck out. I'm saying I made it off the wire with him. So, and I like Gus from last year. Me and Ty made a trade last year with Gus, and then Gus got hurt. But he's a touchdown magnet, man. Like just give me 10, let Kenneth lead the way, and hopefully Joe and the rest of the boys get on the track.
Speaking of Joe, he's getting the bench this week. He hasn't been actually he hasn't been scratched yet. He's questionable. But you've already made the decision to bench him, and you're starting Daniel Jones. What's going on there? Because Joe B was your guy all of last season,
right.
but I don't see the commitment to your guys. So what's going on with that early sit without medical clearance yet?
So this is why I would say, like there's like your iPads over here. Is that you have a note card? It's a little prehistoric. If you were to pull up my team and ask me the question, you already be like, oh, like Joe Burrow's starting this week. It's one of those like where it's like you peek, you look, and then you write something on the note card. You got to be a little bit more locked in. up to date.
I can edit that out.
Especially the Kingdom Sports podcast.
I'm gonna edit that.
You gotta be a little more locked in. Like Joe's in there. I thought it was a done deal. He wasn't gonna play, but then I'm like reading it. I'm like, you know what? I'm in a tough spot. We got Daniel Jones. He just dropped 30. He plays Thursday. Joe plays Monday. And I'm willing to ride this out to have Joe Burrow on Monday night. Just to throw, if I need a dagger thrown on Colin, like we got Joey B. That's the thought process there.
Okay. I think I'm gonna cut that one out.
Hell no, you're not cutting
I did my research and I was like, oh wow.
No. Look, man.
Did you switch him in the car? Did you park outside and switch him?
No, it was like a long time ago. Like today,
it was today. I looked this morning.
If the video cuts or some weird shit, just don't say if it like he fucked up. Like I'm not going. That stays. That better stay. Maybe it's kind of like a Trey Turner, in batter's box with the Philly fans fucking applauding for him. Like it's just he needs this week just to.
Oh, bro, I'm sorry, it never started.
Oh, you good?
And then before I forget. Oh, fuck. It's going. Okay. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
All right. Explain it again. Me versus Jerry. Great matchup. Battle to the end. Terrified of Freiermuth still pulling a bootleg out his ass for 70 yards. But we got through it. I think I caught Jerry on an off week. I think I was shown mercy by ETN. I didn't really get killed there. Mahomes didn't go crazy. Najee, the name change shocked me. I'm thinking Najee's out for the year. He's just on the bench. Maybe I think I was, maybe it's just like a Trey Turner with the Philly fans, applauding him. And, then he turns it up here. So, I think Jerry's still in it. I like Jerry's team a lot. I think that, I caught him on an off week. We scored a modest 95. I think we hang out in that number, 95, 90 up. Like, we'll be successful.
Yeah.
And then we got you versus no, I'm sorry, not that's the next week's ass. I'm sorry. We got La Familia versus Branch. Man, dude, I thought Gotti was winning this game all day.
Yeah. Like
he was just scoring. Everything that had to happen was like his team was clicking. Like I was like, all right, Gotti. Like, and then somehow like La Familia, like Brian Robinson, like 27 points. 27 points for Brian Robinson.
I mean, that was a big theme of this week. People with 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. I feel like that happened a lot. That's kind of what he had. I was super surprised with this game, especially with obviously Branch putting up 99 points. But the one thing I want to say, hey, you got to give respect where respect's due. And I single-handedly made the West so much more interesting with my trade. I don't think Branch is who he is without Mike Evans. I think he needs to say thank you. He needs to bring a bottle of Patron and leave it on my doorstep because, like, there's nobody else that was really trading with him, right? I saw a poor guy who needed some help, and I worked with him. I don't think you understand how many hours, days I worked with him. I said, I swear, like, this is more difficult than I ever thought it would be, and we finally got the trade through, and I think he's finally seeing the impact I made. I would say damn near Branch is my ranch. But congratulations to Branch Ranch, putting up 99 points. Yeah. I think no longer is it, oh yes, I get Branch 2 times, right, a season.
Especially if you're you. Like, I don't think you got that with A1, but yeah, continue.
But I think, his division needs to wake up, right? We're going to get into these other matchups, but I think, like, Colin, Drew, Captain, all of them are, like, the same team. And I think Branch might be one of the better ones on that team. Wow. Now, do I think he leaves the 10th spot? Wow. No way he leaves that 10th spot. Okay. He's in that 10th spot. Okay. But he's just going to win where it really matters for the other teams, not necessarily for himself. But, yeah, dude, insane game.
Bro, Kyron Williams, what a pickup by Gotti.
Right.
Number 3 back so far this year. We got fucking 17 and then 22. Like, that's what I'm saying. I was like, all right, Gotti. Like, everything was clicking. Like, Devontae scored. Like, Mike Evans scored.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, but
Mike
like,
Evans
La
a big
Familia, he pulled them one out. La Familia's got a really good team. He's got
Yeah.
one every year. I respect his team every year. You call him the round one stepping stone.
Right.
Which,
And
I don't think it's fair. Just
really, because I think when you posted in the group chat our playoff, I think it just screamed. I didn't want to say anything because I was going to wait for this moment right here. If you're 1-7 in the playoffs, you're 1-7.
Yeah.
I have a better record in the playoffs.
No, you don't.
Yeah, dude,
No,
I'm
you
at 500.
Yeah, but
What's
but
1-7?
But he's gone 8 times.
And he's proven
Not,
to
he
everybody.
hasn't gone 8 times, but like he's played in 8 games.
Yeah, 8 playoff games.
Yeah,
well,
he's only played
yeah,
in 2.
Right,
I think
but
I
percentage-wise,
still would
but
rather be La
percentage-wise,
Familia though. Like,
and I think he's earned the nickname of the league's stepping
I don't
stone.
think he is.
Like,
I don't think he's a stepping
it's
stone. I
like,
feel like because
but he's
you see
1-7
him
in the
do what
playoffs.
he does.
He's-
Like
right,
the guy goes
right.
out there like
Exactly.
It's been the same
every year.
Yeah, like every year he had
for
his
the last
team
8
is
years.
cold. Like,
The last 8 years, yeah.
we're waiting. Look, notice I didn't say that La Familia's window was closed. Like no, like it's open. Like I said like Trey's and Collins was closed, which we'll get to Trey, but La
Yeah.
Familia like no, it's still open. Like. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you were the fake La
100%.
Familia like years ago, where like your talent on paper could kind of look cool next to him. But then like we would play on Sundays and it'd be like, yeah, bro, like nah, it's nowhere near.
No, he's got an unbelievably stacked team, led by an
such a good
inconsistent Lamar Jackson.
Terrible trade he made for Anthony Richardson. He has Lamar
And
he
Trey
like Colin.
and
I'll
Scary
give Colin.
Terry.
What's up?
And
Yeah, Scary
Terry.
Terry. Alonzo, he doesn't. I'll give him this. Yeah, he doesn't like doing trades within the division. You know, he really doesn't come out hiding. Ty was bitching about it today.
He was
venting because I'm sure Ty
venting, right?
because like Ty, the worst thing Ty hates is like when someone lets a trade like go through like a 2-day expired by its own. Like, he wants you to just decline it if you don't want it. Like, but Alonzo will just let that motherfucker like expire, right? And it's just like it's the great. It's I don't know how to say it. It's painful to have to deal with someone in the trade market like that just not very responsive, that has
Alonzo?
has high expectations, but then randomly you'll see him trade Terry McLaurin, who's been great for him for years, for Anthony Richardson when he has Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I think Scary Terry. You know, I think Alonso.
Anthony Richardson's knees do have a magnet for helmet crowns. Continue.
Yeah, no, I think he left the second game right with a concussion.
Was it concussion?
No, I think it was a concussion. Either
Where's
way,
the crown involved?
I think La Familia. Look, Scary Terry, I think was going real cheap, and Anthony.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because if you looked, I think
He's better
last
than
year's
T.
maybe like ability wise, maybe.
Yeah, like
but I think
playing football wise, yeah, maybe like
but
not
I
like
think the
NASCAR.
But no, like he's a good player on any other team than the Commanders. And I think I think he's a commander receiver, and I think with Scary Terry, how do you bench somebody? And I think that gets a player that's like, I want to bench him, but like he's too good to bench. I think Alonso got out of that difficult position of whether or not to bench him. Just got outright rid of him, and now he has to start somebody else, and it's easier.
So he's a starting Anthony Richardson.
No, but I think he'd rather hold and get rid of Lamar, because I think he'd agree Lamar is the underperforming quarterback who has year over year just been overdrafted.
No, he hasn't.
Too high.
Been a dog. Lamar's been a dog. That's clear. Going on to captain and Colin, like I said, the window's sealed. Like when I say like the windows to the ceiling, like it's like there's a big ass window. Like it's like from there to there. And it's just fucking sealed with concrete. Like, it's not opening, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just you would think, like, hey, let's open the window. Let's get some air in here. Yeah. And it's just like, this motherfucker won't budge. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think you and Colin are going to be early sellers. That's my prediction. Because you guys have some nice veterans that I think some playoff teams can use. And I think that you guys can set your guys up nicely for, next season. I like Colin. I do like Colin a lot. He is going to go 0-3 because he's getting his ass kicked this week. The talent is just not there. Hopefully no Barkley, no Eckler. Maybe it's just like randomly Matt Nagy just has like a brain fart and, forgets Kelsey's on the team. I think it's very possible. Then we got Ty and I'm sorry, yeah, Ty and you. Ty just kicked your ass, man. Like it was over Thursday night.
Yeah. It was. I don't know if it was over Thursday night. I think it got relatively close. Yeah, but it was definitely not the greatest game. I mean, it was just one of those games. But I think, at least for myself, I love that I was able to hit 98 points coming off a 60-point week. We're back to that 98 point mark, right? Where you think you'll be, where I think I deserve to be week in and week out, where my team can consistently play at that 98 point mark. But yeah, I mean, when TJ Hawkinson drops 18 points, this guy's not Kelsey. He had 2 touchdowns and 67 yards. Obviously, even without Hawkinson, Keenan Allen went off for 2 touchdowns and 111 yards. I think Ty has a good team. Obviously, does he put up these same numbers in next week? No. Because Hawkinson's on a really interesting offense, right? Because the running game isn't being established. You have Justin Jefferson, Addison, and now TJ Hawkinson. Like, that's a lot of, receiving weapons that can TJ Hawkinson remain relevant? A top 2, and it's tough. Top 3 tight end doesn't mean a lot because that third could be who? Like Darren Waller? Like, I think it's just 1 and 2. And if he can be the 2, then I think, Ty, say what you will, but Keenan Allen's playing at a high level. Devontae Adams hasn't shown it. Yeah, you look at those running backs, and Dameon Pierce is just not who he was last year. Joshua Kelly, that was a waiver wire pickup that he thought was money, but come in his face. And Zach Moss, I don't think he starts Zach Moss next week. He's probably starting I'm going to go with Jerick McKinnon. I think he's going to start Jerick McKinnon. Okay. But
I'm thinking he starts Puka. But
you think he starts Puka? Probably. But tough game, but I'm happy where we placed. We didn't drop another 60 ball. That would have been really depressing.
Yeah. I think I would be worried about Breece Hall, 0.9. Yeah. And then also just the Bucks, 19, Young Hoku, 13. They're in the top 4 scoring for your team. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have, which I told you it is nice to have special teams, but when you look and it's like that, like the meat of the team, like the core, it's like like Diggs 6,
right?
Like Gibbs,
I mean 5, that's why I didn't draft
Jahan 2. Like that guy's just he's not starting this week, right?
Seeing how the Commanders have played it is difficult to start him. I know I said he's my flex for the year, but as a coach. If I got to walk that back, I got to walk that back. That's a road that I have to walk. But I'm not this diehard where I'm going to die on this hill. Like, no, I'm going to get on the boat. I'm going to push that woman off the little door from Titanic. And I'm like, there's enough room for both of us here. Like, I'm not going to die because of Jahan Dotson. He's a good player, but I'm not going to die because fucking Ron Rivera doesn't know how to run a goddamn football team.
Come on, he knows how to run a team. They're playing well.
But they're not throwing it to Dotson. If you're not throwing it to my guys, he's just...
McLaurin is good, so he catches a touchdown. Johnson sucks, so he scores 2 points.
Suck.
It's like
he's very
1 + 1
involved.
= 2, 2 + 2 = 4.
John
4
Dotson's
×
very
4
involved.
= 16.
But I think a really big bright side, and if he wouldn't have won the game for me, but Drake London caught a touchdown. He was 6 for 7, so they're throwing the ball to him.
Did you start him or on the bench?
He's on the bench. Right. But, when we think about, and like I said, I don't think starting Drake London this week wouldn't have given me the dub anyways. Would have got me closer. But, is Jahan my flex? We might write him out one more week. But I think that's going to be a game time decision.
I think, if you're going to write him out another week, it's got to be this week because it's Alonzo. Like, you're probably going to lose this week.
Right.
So
yeah, no, I am.
Well.
Yeah.
If you're going to try it again, see if the kids got going out there for a prayer. Because, you're probably going 0-3. Like you said, you welcome it.
Yeah.
But it is tough, man. It's a tough hole, bro. Like, Colin going 0-2 for the first time in Kingdom history. Like,
right.
Oof. First year, he was god-awful. That's how he got Zeke and, turned everything around. But, he was, like, complete dog shit the first year of the Kingdom. Embarrassingly bad. but he still went like 1-1, and he's on 2 starting off, and it's just the injuries, the age.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna catch up to him. It's gonna catch up to Ty. You know, a good win this week, Ty. Good win, but you know, I'm not feeling like you know, Jonathan Taylor better come back and be a fucking dog. That's all I gotta fucking say. And then we got Young Bucks and Drew.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, that's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough,
yeah.
But it wasn't relevant to this game, which you know, that's my
Right.
Drew's my guy. It's my
Right.
you know, that's my boy.
Right. He was getting dogged way before that.
Yeah, we were gonna talk about this game before. Whenever Nick Chubb drops 40,
Right.
it really wasn't gonna matter what we were gonna say about this game.
Yeah. 50 points. 50.4. I dropped 66.
Yeah, I gotta be fair.
I don't think the league is talking enough about how bad of a performance that was. And you gotta credit, you know, Drew. He's just that lovable character. But when are we gonna stop babying the kid? Like, let's drag his name through the dirt. Like, there's too much. Oh, Drew, you're gonna make the playoffs. Like,
he was
it's
the
okay.
championship last year, you know. I mean, but that's where it's gonna be interesting because, I feel like Ruben plays it safe with you, like he wants an ally. You know, but like you guys disagree on that aspect. I wish that would have got a little opened up a little more, like the fact that you don't think Drew's gonna bounce back. Like I want,
don't think,
because like Ruben, like I feel like
Yeah.
he's very sensitive to injuries. Like he's really like thinks you're a dick if you talk about you joke about him. Like he gets really angry. So like the fact that he didn't really say anything to you on that, like it's showing to me, like you know, like that he's trying to connect with these. He's trying to like pick his allies, you know, rightly, like. You know, Jerry hates him. I hate him. You know, Ty hates him. Like Alonzo hates him. Yeah, like Ruben. Like over the years, like you know, like don't let Ruben's kindness sneak up on you. And it's like week 7, you know, and he's got a lot of ammo. He's been waiting to dump on you. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the game with him. Like I know how. It's like Cold War with me and him. You know, it's a little Cold War. Like you know, like we could play around all we want, but you know, I know that his team's gonna be the champ should go through. James should go through Ruben's team. Like, you want to win, you got to beat him. No, not really, not so much Alonzo. Just like you said, like if he had a little bit more success in the past, I'd be a little bit more worried. I don't know if the championship goes through him. I might see him on the way, but it doesn't go.
So he's almost like a stepping stone.
It's not a stepping stone because I would go through him for the stepping stone. I might not even see Alonzo this year in the playoffs.
Yeah, you might just skip.
Yeah, he might not even like make the next whatever. Yeah. We just don't cross paths. You know. But no, Ruben's team, not dominant performance. Right. Great, you know, like big 3 showed up. Jamar Chase, he's gonna get going.
Yeah.
And Justin Jefferson hasn't even caught a touchdown yet. Derrick Henry looks like he's just gonna be a great number 2 running back. Bijan, absolute money pick. Worth, you know, I think it's safe to say he was worth Rashad Penny.
Why'd you have to? You didn't have to really say that.
No, I just want to say I think it's safe to say he was worth Rashad Penny because that guy's a fucking dog, man. Bijan, he's cold. But yeah, you got anything to say about those ones? You know,
I think, you know, the big red flag. I think Ruben has to. He's got to eclipse 120 points. He just has to.
Why?
Week 1, he only dropped 98. Week 2, he dropped 99. It's just because look at Ty.
He's got the 3rd most points scored this year.
The 3rd most, right?
Yeah.
Probably behind Alonso,
right?
And maybe even behind Ty, without really even looking at it.
Yeah,
I think in order to go deep in the playoffs and even win a championship, those are 3 games, right? Potentially, if he has the bye, it's only 2 games. But like one of those games, you got to just have the players to drop over 120 points. Why?
Bro,
because look what Ty. Right, he definitely does, but it's not happening.
It's his week 2.
I downplayed.
Jefferson and Chase have not scored a touchdown.
They haven't. And is Joe Burrow going to play this week?
I think so.
And is that calf injury an issue?
He's a stationary quarterback. That's why I tried to tell you, like in the first episode that you destroyed. But continue.
But
too much. I was spitting too much facts.
But I think I downplayed the quarterback situation. If you look at Alonso's team, right, there is no quarterback hole. There really isn't a
You
whole.
literally tell him he needs to bench Lamar Jackson.
Well, yeah, to show his exert dominance, right?
No, but before it was because he was bad. Like,
Well, no. It was that.
Switch.
It was
no,
that.
no, it hasn't.
No, it was bench Lamar because you're playing Branch. And you don't need Lamar
It was,
to
but
be
it was
Branch.
also
That's
like,
what I was
bro,
saying.
Hell no, you were saying.
Yeah.
You literally, I think this episode, Lamar Jackson's overdrafted.
He is.
Okay, so you
had
had
one
a
decent
take
game.
where he was overdrafted and he needs to be benched because he's that bad. Now it's been switched to like he needs to be benched because he's that good. Like,
no,
Alonso's that good.
Alonso's that good.
I feel like it's kind of like Skip Bayless pissed off Troy Aikman. But Skip Bayless is a diehard Cowboys fan. He's like, whoa, like, wait, like, he's trying to win back Troy. I feel like you're trying to win back Alonso a little bit because I feel like you didn't think that, like, he would, reacted to how you kind of, like, classify his team because, he's kind of on your ass a little bit, too.
A little bit, but nothing real memorable, whatever he said. Either way, Alonso and Ty, right, they both are dropping over 100 points.
Yeah.
And
East is good, man. We got some good players, man. I mean, we have one bad team, but we're good other than that.
And I think Ruben needs a better quarterback. I think it's a bigger issue. I think Justin Fields is not starting this week.
I don't think so. I don't think it's a bad.
I think it's a bigger issue than I thought. I downplayed it, but looking week in and week out, like you only put up 99 points. Like it's decent. But when Alonso comes around and drops 120, what are you gonna do?
When do they play? That'd be a great game.
It will be, or when Branch comes around and drops 120, what are you gonna do? Like what are you gonna do?
Right.
So
I think he's saving that for when he plays you, man.
I think he's saving that when he plays Ruben, but I think Ruben he's not that dominant, right? It's like you said, it's only week 2. Jamar Chase is gonna get going.
Week 7 they play.
Justin Jefferson hasn't caught a touchdown yet, but he's got a lot of yards. I think he doesn't have a touchdown yet.
No, that's what I'm saying.
His running backs are way better than Trey's running backs or Collins. Is Ruben's running backs better than Alonso's, McCaffrey, and Tony Pollard?
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. I would take Ruben's just because Bijan, just for the future dynasty. But if we're just talking about
this year,
who's going to score most this year?
Because McCaffrey's been hot.
Pollard's not bad.
Pollard has been better than expected, I think.
No, I'm going Bijan.
Bijan, yeah, that makes sense. But, we did start off Ruben's the number 1 team. But after week 2, he's number 2, I think, to Alonso.
Really?
I think so.
Really?
I think so. Because, right, Lamar Jackson, look, he might drop 6 points next week. He might drop 15. But he can drop 25 points. I think he dropped this week 23. But can Justin Fields ever eclipse 19 or 18 points?
Yes.
We're talking about, like, little numbers, but I think every number counts.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
You think so?
I think that,
I think Justin Fields has a lot of
Ruben's
issues.
team, he has so much talent on the team that he just needs to worry about not getting fucked over in fantasy. Like, he needs to win the games he's supposed to win.
Right.
He's just got to keep coasting and coasting. Like, get that team in the playoffs with a bye week. He's never won the division. He's got to win. Like, every win, this is a big year for Ruben. I feel like he came out like, I need to win every game. And that's how you need to be if you really want to, take over. Like, you have that nonchalant attitude, like your team feeds off of it. I think your team definitely has fed off yours. I think that you were begging for 0-3. You're going 0-3. You're begging for 0-4. I don't know if you begged for 0-5. I think last episode you begged 0-4.
I think 0-6.
0-6.
0-6.
I think you might go.
Yeah, I mean, we want to get the losses out early.
I'm telling you, I went, 1-7 last year?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was, no one talks about it, is I went 4-1 on my last 5 games.
Right, and that's what we're probably going to look for.
And then I won my first 2. So it's like I'm 6-1 in my last 8 games. Like, so it's like it's a turnaround. It's
I don't know if you could do that, but
it's
okay.
Like, it's mainly the same core. Like, I made some tweaks that are working out. Like you said, like these trades don't work out, but you don't really comment on my trades. They just kind of go.
Yeah, because like Branch is on my ass, so it's like, of course I'm gonna comment on
Oh, okay.
him.
That's true. Yes,
But we can talk about your trades too.
No, I mean-
Yeah, you're no. When we've gone through Branch's trades, we've questioned whether or not he's sucking on those truck fumes. But your trades are sound, like they make sense.
Thank you.
But when we went through Branch's trades, we were both shocked.
Except for the one
every time.
when he traded with you, because that was
Right. It's probably his first one good trade.
and that was like that's like you look at it now and it's like, okay, we just move on. Like, yeah, Seraphim lost that one. Like,
Right.
I don't think anyone's really like, oh, I'll
Right.
take
Yeah, it wasn't like fuck.
Because Mike looks nice.
And I think I
Mike's-
did the best thing for the West and the best
Cook
thing for
doesn't
the
look
East.
great. It's really like Mike for T. And,
Right.
So good
And I
luck
thank
with T.
God I got rid of Cook when I did, because I would be pissed if I had Cook and he dropped minus 0.8
Or Hall.
points.
Could you imagine like if he had Hall?
Hall's a
and
different
Could
story.
you imagine starting Hall and he
Hall-
dropped 0.9?
But he had 4 carries. Like it's not like Hall
Yeah.
had 21 carries
Could
and
you
dropped
imagine
0.4.
He got the ball 4 times and he couldn't
Right.
get 1 yard.
Completely out of my control.
And I was like, just put this in, like if you, I just thought about this. He got the ball 4 times,
Right.
And he didn't get, was it? No, he didn't get 10 yards, right? No,
Right.
no, he didn't get 1 yard, did he? He did get 1 yard.
He got 9 yards. He
He
got
had 9
9
yards. He didn't get 10 yards. He couldn't get 10 yards. Off
I didn't
4
watch the
carries.
Jets game, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's only 4 carries. You can't do a lot with 4 carries. I don't think Todd Gurley could do much with 4 carries.
Man, man, he was special, man. He's just something that like, it's just one of those like you weren't there for Jordan. You were there, but you weren't really there. Like you were born the year that Jordan like was going crazy. Like I was. I was born in '95.
I just know that Christian McCaffrey had 20 carries. Tony Pollard had 25
Yeah,
carries.
that's what happens when you have a good running back, man.
No,
They get fed,
that's when
bro.
you have like a
They get
solid
fed.
team. Like the Jets,
And
the
when I
Jets
tell
are
you-
a big question mark.
What I tell you, man, you gotta get the a competent quarterback. I don't care about catches. I want competent play, just so that
Right, and that's
Offense
what you gotta think week in and week out whether or not you start Garrett Wilson or maybe Gabe Davis.
he's showing out, man. Star is born. This fame in this game really changed who you are.
I think he's gotten, he had Garrett Wilson's points were made in 1 catch, 1
Two.
play.
He had two
No,
catches.
no,
Yeah,
he
you
had
saw
2.
the no card. You got that. No,
He
yeah,
had
pull up.
he had 2 catches, yeah,
Yes.
but 1 catch went for like 75 yards and a touchdown,
No, it was like 63 yards, 64 yards, and the other catch was like 20 yards. So,
which like
chunk-
really
he's a chunk
like
play guy.
really
He's a
like
also jump
80%.
ball. He's got hands.
80%
like,
of
not
his
like
point
right
production
receiver.
came from 1 play.
And it's
Blown
like,
coverage by a
I'm-
Dallas defense, which
And that's what happens sometimes. But for
Sometimes.
triple homicide, like, and he comes out there and he just like fucking 64-yard touchdown, like.
right, I think
Okay, I
that
see
the
you,
defense
GW.
got the
Hell
Dallas
yeah,
defense
bro.
got
Hell,
tricked
yeah,
up a little
that
bit,
is cold,
but it
too.
didn't happen
So it's like
again.
he gets what he's showing is like he touches the ball 1 time, 2 times, and he can do that. Like that's how good he is, bro. That's what I mean by like that's what I need to see this year. I need to see him doing that. So like next year, Rodgers, go ahead, bro. Go look up all the quotes you want to look up, ayahuasca, DMT, whatever you need to do. Get back next year, but we're not really worried about Rodgers right now. We're worried about Wilson becoming himself
I think
without having to go through Rodgers' identity.
having to
Let him
start
become him.
a wide receiver where I have to stress about, okay, he's got 2 chances, 2 opportunities to make all the points for that week, right? 2 catches. Last week, he probably had like 4 catches.
So then why did you start him?
Garrett Wilson, start Garrett Wilson.
They started John Dodson. Like, yeah, I
a
know.
star.
Like, if you had to think, if someone that
He's
got
a
like
star.
2 catches, who was garbage, like you literally did it. It's like you're like talking about a dream. and
Jahan
it's like,
Dotson.
Wake, I want to shake you. Like, whoa, look, bro. Like he's right there. Like that's the guy you're talking about. Like if you had to think of a guy that could get like,
I trust
2
Sam
catches.
Howell a little more than Zach Wilson. Would you say that?
yeah. I think I
Okay.
do, but I think I
Okay.
trust Garrett Wilson a lot more than I trust Jahan Dotson. Because like you're saying, could you imagine you have a receiver that you start him and he gets 2 catches and he just sucks ass, but then you have a receiver that gets 2 catches and he drops 14. It's like or 11 or it's like.
I mean, there wasn't a blown coverage for Jahan Dotson to take advantage of.
But the thing is, like,
And I don't know what exact plays were being run.
You can't really guard Garrett Wilson. It's a skill gap. You gotta like realize a skill gap. Like, are you and Garrett Wilson, John Dotson is gonna be such a joke by like week 8 But no, we digress.
We're gonna see because week
let's-
3, I
let's
think
be
we
such
see
a
Garrett
shock.
Wilson regress a whole
I
lot.
don't think so, man. I
I
think you're gonna
think
be trying to
so.
get him for Diggs. I think that's gonna be like the
think
ploy.
I-
Like, oh, I need Wilson
Nah.
for Diggs. Yeah, not gonna happen. Let me just get into let's get into next week's matchups because I'm excited for week 3. It feels great just to be in the season. Like just a little 2-day break, especially coming off win. Like, damn, man, last year. It was so tough, and I know what Seraphin's going through right now, man. And it's like you put on this shell, you put on this face, but like you're going, you need that first one, man. You just need that first one, and it's not coming this week, so he's gonna have to go through another episode.
I mean, there's
next
definitely a
week.
chance.
It's not.
It's not completely ruled out.
Yeah, it is.
Hey,
It's something.
Alonso has shown to pull some pretty big duds. Everybody
know,
is.
but
Everyone is
You know what you're known for?
susceptible to a dud.
Right, but
And that's just fantasy.
yeah, it is.
It
But,
might come this week.
nah, I
might-
think they
it
were
might-
looking at
it
0-3.
It might come this week.
And I know what that's like. So I just wanted to say, I know what it's like where you're at right now. And I know that you need to win bad, man. You need one bad.
I'm okay where I'm at.
I don't think so, man, because you're getting heat.
I mean, the next
It's
after
like Skip
Alonso,
Bayless is like
after
playing
Alonso,
shooting guard for like the Hawks.
think-
And it's just like, they're like coming after his stats. Like he need like Skip, like you need to hit down the open 3, bro. Like there's no excuses, Skip. Like you can't say shit unless you make the
Yeah.
open 3.
I think after Alonso, my schedule starts to ease up a little bit. But yeah, I guess we'll start it off with me playing Alonso next week. Right. I mean, probably Jahan's last dance to show whether or not he wants to continue playing. Really, whether or not the Commanders want to just feed the ball to Jahan. I mean, Jahan's got the talent. We just need the plays. And hey, I'm gonna say right now, we're gonna run Jahan because the likelihood of me winning is low. I think I have like a 20% chance of winning. And I'd rather just run it one more time with Jahan than start Drake London. And see where it goes. Maybe Jahan drops 25. And we get the dub. But it's tough.
Yeah, no, I mean that's like like we said, that's 0-3 for you. It's 3-0 for La Familia, which is a problem for me, because I need this division. It's gonna be one all year with him. Colin, not even Colin. What I say, Colin? You, 0-2. I mean, going to 0-3. Nothing really to say about this game. It's kind of like I think everyone's kind of wrote this one off. I don't think anyone's really tuning in that one. Yeah,
probably not.
Not really
No, probably not. I mean,
unless it's
Right.
like we look and it's like, oh wow, like
Right,
Seraphim's
right.
like actually like
Like-
projected to lose by 18. It's like, oh, like,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
other than that, no. But you can go to the next game.
Yeah, well, then we got Colin and yourself, which right now looks like you're projected to lose.
Yes, I think I've been projected every game. I think I'm an underdog, not every game, but the last 2 games. Right?
Have you? I thought you were the.
I think I was the underdog versus.
Were you the underdog last week?
Yeah, I was the underdog versus Jerry.
Really? It was probably the line was probably like
It was close.
-1.
Yeah, it was close, but yeah.
So I don't know if I'd really
again.
count that as an underdog. That's just like the AI just having to choose. Like we have to choose, just -1.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that going into? He's projected to beat your ass without Eckler, or is Eckler back?
No, it's just they haven't projected scoring, so you have to kind of factor that into. It's like he's not gonna play most likely, so Colin's gonna have to start and Jamal Williams is not gonna play either. Colin's gonna have to start Pacheco at the running back, Pacheco and Swift, and then
And Swift has the ability to put up some solid points, and so does Pacheco.
McLaurin, and then McLaurin. So yeah, I mean it could be a good game. It could be nice, but I think I'm getting a break here, missing out on Eckler and Barkley.
Saquon.
Get a win here. I played Colin twice this year, so let's get a win early here.
That must be nice.
Yeah, let's go 3-0.
So then we have Drew and Branch. And before we go into this, I just want to mention that the group chat had a beautiful ceremony for Nick Chubb. it's not said enough how good of a player he is. I think he is not talked enough. The last 4 years have been phenomenal, I think.
He's great.
And the league was very aware of that, and lots of prayers and lots of love for Nick Chubb. It was beautiful. But yeah, fuck. Drew and Branch.
Yeah.
I think that's the game of the week.
No.
Can Drew beat Branch? Because I think if Drew beats Branch, Branch is 10. He's 10. He's 10 and he can't, he's 10 and he becomes quiet. Because how do you lose to Drew where, he just lost his number one running back. Josh Jacobs just hasn't been playing that well. Lost because the Raiders suck. And Mike Evans is hot right now. I just think it's a bad loss.
It's a bunch of duds this week for
because when we think about my loss, it's almost expected because of how Alonso's just so good. Yeah. But to lose to, if I lost to Drew this week, I would seriously consider selling the entire team. Because
I'm still taking Drew's team over your team without Chubb.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
No way.
Bro, yes.
No way. No way. No way. Drew's team over. You're saying that for clicks.
No, I'm
You're
not.
saying that for views. You want to do a little YouTube short.
Bro, easily.
No way. Start with his wide receivers.
Yes, he's got A.J. Brown and Ridley.
And Ridley,
and
like,
more.
I think T. Higgins is better than Ridley.
No.
Yes, 100%.
No.
Ridley had one good week. Kind of came back down to earth.
And then what's the next one? A.J. Brown or who?
A.J. Brown or Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I'll take.
They're probably the same.
I'll take Brown.
They're the same. They're the
running
same.
Backs, I'll take Josh Jacobs and Javonte Williams.
No way, Javonte Williams has played like 3 games his entire career.
Yeah, I'll take him over. Who do you have?
Gibbs.
Yeah.
Gibbs is way better. Gibbs is way better than Javonte.
If he doesn't, I mean, if the guy ties his shoes, he has a chance to be in a conversation.
Exactly.
But
Javonte had 6 points this past week. Josh Jacobs had 5. I think if my coaches weren't like incompetent and used their players the way that they should be used, it'd be a different story. But when Brees Hall has 4 carries, I mean, Josh Jacobs had a solid 9 carries. He had -2 yards.
Yeah.
Don't know.
This is a really duddy week here. Either way, go get a dub. Everyone needs to go get a dub, man. And go try to get a dub. Like, if we're slowly creeping up, like it's week 3, like I was just looking at, like I said, I closed out the year 4-1, right? And I almost went 5-0. Like I lost like a tough one to, what was it? I think it was like Drew, someone last year. But if you flip my calendar around, I start off 4-1, right?
Yeah.
And look at the year I had.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like,
bro.
So what I'm saying is, so it's like you can't get.
Bro,
it's like 4-1 doesn't really mean anything. It's like it's such a long year. That it's like, but
if you move my wins around, like this week, we trade my win from week 7 to week 5. Yeah, bro, it looks good.
No, I'm saying.
Anyways.
No, but I'm saying it looks like I had a bad year last year. Okay. Even if you flip my calendar, like my season around, and I start off the year 4-1, I'm just showing you, it's still possible for me to finish 5-7 or whatever it was, 5-8, 5-9.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's still I can start off 4-1 this year, and I can still finish what I finished last year.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like you just gotta like get your dubs, like.
Right, 100%. Yeah, when everybody wants to win, right?
Yeah.
You got to win to get to the playoffs.
I don't know if everybody. I think a majority, but I do think I don't know if you want to win sometimes.
Oh, we want to win every week.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted to win 3. I thought you wanted to win.
We want to win every week, but we welcome.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
You think you can just you can get out any hole?
Of course, 100%. There's a lot of wrinkles that we got to iron out.
I just don't know about the IQ.
The running backs that we have, man, like it's a very interesting situation. Either way, next match we got Ty and Jerry, which supposedly this is going to be a very tight game.
Yeah.
Etienne didn't perform that well, so maybe he does bounce back right here.
Etienne,
what'd I say?
Etienne.
I mean, hey, man.
I'm getting messages like, hey, like, you got correcting him on like the names. It's like the 8th one I had to correct you on.
Hey, I wasn't that good, man.
It's alright. No, it's okay. That's what I'm here for.
Etienne? Did I say it
Yeah,
right?
ETN.
ETN.
Like ET phone home.
Yeah,
ET.
ETN. ETN.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be a tight game. I think Ty comes back down to earth.
Yes.
I don't think TJ Hawkinson puts up 18 fucking points. I don't think Zach Moss puts up what he put like 18. And Keenan Allen with 22 points. Like, Ty,
Yeah, no.
congratulations. Talk your shit. It's your day.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you start to lose multiple games, I'm on you.
I got
And I
that.
can't wait to hear the excuses about how people got lucky or this and talk about my fantasy IQ. And about trades that I don't take like risks on. Look, I've gotten so many trades from Ty this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten any.
I've gotten a lot of trades from the league. I got a lot from Ty. And it's like, it's probably because you reject them all.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We've done business. What happened to Debo last year? Like,
Oh,
I haven't
right,
gotten any
right.
since Debo. That's which is like.
And I don't think we talk about that
heartbreaking.
enough.
It's hard. Yeah, we do. It's a beaten horse. It's a dead horse.
And Branch let him off the hook. Either way, that right there is like PTSD for me. It's just a dark hole that I just don't want to go through. Just Branch letting Ty off the hook.
Oh, okay.
Not a good conversation. Either way, Ty and Jerry, who do you? Any
Jerry.
thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I like Jerry's team a lot. Like I said, I caught him on an off week.
Yeah.
I think
Agreed.
he's everything that you think your team is. When you look at it, to be honest, I think that's what I think you used to think your team was Alonzo's team, and then some people probably agreed because it was like, damn, like, this year you decided to break up Mike Evans and Diggs, which that was always a nice combo to have, especially because they were like prime for prime, like Dalvin Cook, all that shit was cool, but like it didn't really amount to shit, like it was a pile of shit, and like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like
I think you. Yeah.
I feel like now you're trying to like be like, oh well, yeah, it's like some like ugly girl being like, well, yeah, I look like her, like. Nah,
I love this podcast because
personality.
I think there's something we didn't get to see. We didn't get a deep dive on my team last year, but we see now, like, Breece Hall has all the talent in the world, but only 4 carries. Swift or Gibbs, all the talent in the world.
He's probably fragile. The same thing happened with Swift. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to heed my warning of last year. I was like that old man,
Swift
like in a dark
Swift
alley,
is very
trying to
different.
warn you about the Lions' offense. And I'm like, you know what? I'm taking Montgomery. Like,
But we're seeing what's happening.
I'm getting
I dropped 98 points, and that's very competitive.
Yeah.
But what did Ty drop? 120,
Right.
and I caught him on his best week of the season potentially.
And I think there could have been some way how you win this game. You think you could have played the right guys, you win, right?
Okay, I played the right guys.
No, you didn't.
I played the right
You had
guys.
London on your bench.
I don't think he would have won the game for me because I still lost by like 20.
Oh, I gotta look at
London
this.
was for 12. London
You
had
lost by
like 12.
22.
London had like 12. That was really it. Hunter Henry had 11, but Jake Ferguson had 7.
So 5.
It would have been a lot closer.
10, 5, 18. Oh yeah, you could have, because then you could have you would have only been down by 3, and then you started Gibson over Hall. So yeah, like I didn't realize it, but this was a coaching loss. This wasn't like one of those casual. This is a coaching loss, because Breece with 0.9, like. You could have pieced a better puzzle together, So it's like,
Antonio Gibson.
Damn, I really thought your
With
team like
Antonio
98
Gibson.
loss, but it's like you could have pieced a better puzzle
With
like,
Antonio Gibson.
and that's what I go
I
back
think
to.
if we would go back to everybody's team, we could go like, oh, right, Jerry, you lost because...
But that's what I go back to. It's like you gotta every game's a battle, so like you
Hey,
can't autopilot.
I'll say this. Yeah, 100%.
I'm looking like this is the coaching staff.
And we've already said...
Breece Hall 0.9, and...
don't think anybody in this world thought he was going to put
Drake
a 0.9
London
with
on
4
your
carries.
bench is criminal right now.
Drake London
looking at the loss like, damn, man, they lost that game they could have had, bro. I know you could have had. I really did not think you could have had this one. Wow, damn. I look at this one totally different. That 0-2 is like a lot worse than I thought it was. But yeah, any other games?
Yeah, so we have Ruben and Captain. Another layup for Ruben. Jesus Christ, I think he's had like the easiest start of the fucking season where he can work out his quarterback woes and really
We
not
need to chill
dealing
on
with
Captain.
shit
I think we need to relax on Captain a little bit. You
a
know,
little bit.
yeah. I think we both try to keep things positive, but you know how Captain gets. Like I think he holds on to things. Like he snaps on his boat. They're like whoa, like like. I see you, Captain. He's like, I was dog walking him in the podcast. I didn't think I was dog walking him in the podcast, but he wants to loop me in, and then, we could keep it a buck. Like, yeah. It's a lot of luck going on over there, Captain Lee. Like, it's nothing too crazy to look at.
Yeah, 93
like,
points, probably the highest for the
I'm
season.
not going to say it's a layup for Ruben. I won't be that disrespectful, Captain. That's Seraphim. So please remember that part. But I'm looking at the team. We have some two nice young receivers that, Michael Pittman, he runs like he's got a book bag on under his pads. And then Olave, the guy's allergic to the end zone. I mean, the guy doesn't want to score. Yeah. He's, like Garrett Wilson loves the end zone. Olave hates the end zone. And that was the biggest thing going into this season that we're figuring out. Justice Hill blows.
Just Deshaun Watson
Andrews is nice.
Not being that good.
Deshaun Watson is just not good.
I think Joe Mixon.
He's okay. You got to find a better quarterback.
Yeah.
I like Cook.
Yeah,
Mixon,
I like Cook.
Okay, the Connor.
And
Okay,
Mixon,
I think you have a chance with Ruben. I do think you have a chance with Ruben. We need to relax a little bit on.
I just think Ruben just has too much.
Me and Seraphim are being, but me and Seraphim is being honest. It's not fucking Care Bear land over here. All right, I'm looking at the damn fucking schedules from the records from last year and what happened. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I can't wait till Captain sitting in that fucking chair and I can ask him what the hell happened, what's been going on since 2018 or 2019, whatever the hell it was that he pulled off the fucking miracle. You know what I'm saying? What's been happening
with his defense? Yeah,
there's a lot of talk over there. I want to know. I want answers on what's been happening to Captain Lee. All right, what were you saying?
Yeah, I just think Ruben has. I think Ruben has too much in the chamber.
What's going on? Yeah, you said Ruben has too much what in the chamber?
He has just too many. He just has too many rounds in the chamber. Like he's got a full mag, and Captain has like a half full mag.
I got you. So that's why Ruben winning. Okay.
Where that's why I got Ruben winning. Captain, dude, I'm not gonna walk back anything I just said. I hear what you said. Hey, and I've got short-term memory, which I think is perfect for, the things that I say and the things that I read because, nobody knows, bro. But a lot of people, I was surprised how much offense people took to the things that I've said. I don't think. Yes. I think they've blown it out of proportion a little bit.
They just don't like honesty. It's just, everyone's got a truth. Everyone's got an opinion.
No one has ever put anybody in the spotlight, right? Like we've always had this group chat and conversation starts. Sometimes I don't engage because it's like, okay, I'm too late to the party, or this was beautiful and I don't want to interrupt it, or it's Ty and I don't really want to talk to you anymore. But now everyone. We're putting everything to light. Like, we're putting everything to light.
And the Band-Aids are getting ripped off. Opinions that everybody has. You would think that it's just like, we're the only ones that think that Collins' window's closed or that, Captain Lee and Gotti aren't, the best apples of the bunch. Like, these are like some opinions of others. Like, this is the kingdom. I thought we were allowed to be honest here and, that we could look at everyone in the mirror. Let's look around. Let's,
Yeah.
I took a lot I took a lot of shit last year, rightfully so, because I'm a big talker, right? So I got my licks in last year. I took nothing personal, but best believe that King Poppy J has a reputation that I'm gonna live up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna be John throughout the week. It's not really gonna be a happy. When you play me, you're gonna want to beat me. It's just that simple. When it comes to me, you're gonna want to beat me when you play me. Like, it's not like, I can lose to him and be all right. Like, it's like, you lose to Alonzo, he'll be quiet. He won't really say anything. He might, throw a little something in there, but he's not going to, like, really get on your ass.
Right.
That's just not me. That's not the case with me.
Right, 100%.
And someone would think, like, Alonzo does things the right way, but then you bring up the 1-7 record. So it's like, does he, or does he just not have and he could be having more fun than he's having right now.
Right.
He should make it a mission to find, I think that me and him, we do have a rivalry, but I think that something that you and him have sparked, I think there's something there as far as he wants to just kick your ass. I think that's safe to say. I think Alonzo would agree. He wants to just absolutely beat your ass.
He hasn't said anything, I don't think.
Yes.
About the game.
I think
necessarily
he's
like
hinted
he
at ass
hasn't.
whooping.
In his mind, he's probably like thinking about me, right? But I don't think he's actually said anything yet. I think he's, right? Like I'm 0-2. Everyone said their piece about me going 0-2, and he had a small jab, but I don't think he's really mentioned the game. But either way, yeah, man, it's fantastic. Let's look at so the standings, right? Let's just quick recap. Might throw it on the screen.
Putting at the final standing projections.
No, just like the standings.
Let's go through the final standing
You wanna do
projections first. Just a
final-
little let's touch on those.
Final standing projection.
See kind of where your girl is thinking. Oh my god. Jeez, man. Does that say 93?
What?
Where I went?
What do you mean where you went?
On the final standings projections.
93?
9-2-3.
Oh, 9-2-3?
That's a jump, man.
I
a jump.
I think it's very difficult to take any seriousness from this. I think, look, if you're still at 3 by week 7, okay, like I'll give it to you. But I think it's just too early. Like it doesn't take into account the actual situation that the Jets are in, or the actual. I don't think it does.
It does.
No, I don't think it looks that deep. I think it just looks that Garrett Wilson had a touchdown, 87 yards, and that you won. No. I think it's very like I think a child put together the program. It's not that deep. I don't think they pay their programmers that much.
He was really big on it preseason. It's just.
Yeah, I like the preseason. I'm big on preseason, and I'm telling you, I'll be big on it. I'll be big on it like week 7. And week 7, I said week 7. If you're still number 3, like okay, all right, you're 3.
I know, but like somehow it goes from big on the preseason to I just don't think it takes into effect like okay, so it's a dumbass now. The season starts, it's a dumbass.
I think it gets smarter as the season goes on.
But yeah, I just brought mine up because I got the biggest jump, six spot jump from 9 to 3. I knew there was no way 9th, and you were like, yeah, it's got a spot on. It's already no, I fucked up. I'm going up to 3 behind.
No, I don't think.
Ruben
I think you
Alonso.
come crashing down. But okay,
behind only Ruben and Alonso. Biggest fall off was Colin dropping 5 spots. They're seeing the writing on the wall, the same thing that I seen. Windows sealed. It's done. Crazy run. I applaud it. But yeah, Colin is done. The fire sale will be here shortly. I'm gonna say 3 weeks time.
You think so?
I do. Drew. I do think Drew sneaks in at the 6th spot without Chubb.
Bro, you're just being too nice. There's a huge bias of that.
I think Drew's a savvy fantasy player.
Dude, who the fuck is he gonna bench? When we
I
have,
think he's savvy.
when we have a 10% bench
for someone.
What?
I said he'll probably rip you off for someone. I think he's just a savvy player.
Nah, there's no remorse for that kid. He's probably you.
He'll get
last
digs
season.
for
He will be that this
season.
season.
Let me see this, man. He'll get digs. He'll get digs for fucking Raheem Mostert and George Pickens. You can book it. That's just that's the trade. That's gonna be the trade in 3 to 4 weeks.
Should I just submit it right now?
You should, man, because that's gonna go. It's gonna be digs for primarily Pickens. You're gonna try to get younger. Pickens is gonna keep looking nice with Pickett. It's gonna happen. But yeah, I think he's finishes 6. I think that Captain finishes. I think him and Gotti, I do think are actually gonna be fighting for him, Gotti, and Drew for that 6th spot. And I think Colin and you are going to be, the 2 worst teams this year.
Yeah. Hey,
I think you're going to be
this show is all about opinions.
A lot worse, though.
And takes, and you gave yours. I mean, this is definitely, we believe in free speech.
Yeah. Is it my turn for my free take yet, or is it
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, if you're ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, free take. I love how we're so far into this fantasy football league that there's different stories that get created every year. There's different things just change. They just do. You can't. It's not. You start off hot and then you suck. It's damn. Now your franchise is just known for this. whatever it is. You know, like you still get the respect. I always shout out my winners in the past. You know.
Championship winners.
Yeah, I always shout out my championship winners. I have the we have the Ring of Honor group chat. You know, there's always like a Happy Easter. There's a Happy Halloween thrown around in there. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Like we do stay in touch. Like, but there's like that competitive fraternity in there of like where we take this shit more serious than others is how we look at it, you know? Yeah, we know people who aren't in it, they do take it a lot serious. But I want to see huge leaps and bounds improvements across the league in terms of franchise narratives. You know, I think that a lot of molds can be broken this year. I think mine's going to remain the same, being King Papi J. But Ruben, he's going to be like, there's not going to be the form with Ruben curse. You know, I think Captain and Gotti, they both have a good year in the same year. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't know if they both had a good year the same year. I think that could happen. I do think that with what you're bringing, like, you're going to have a terrible season this year. But you're going to hang in there, and you're really going to set yourself up for next year. You know what I'm saying? It's like changing the tide. You got too comfortable. You got too chill. That you let the team age out. Really, you know, you didn't really handle Cook and Evans. I feel like they could have got a lot more value than what they went for.
Okay.
Because I think that you kind of like snoozed it. You snoozed it, and you weren't, proactive. But I think that now, I believe that. I think that you do have that, the foresight to realize, like, damn, like I'm not winning this year. You know, like it's just not happening.
No one said that.
Alonzo. You know, he might win a big game this year. Jerry, I love what Jerry has done to his team, the rebranding, you know. So I think that, we're almost at 10 years. Like, don't let this year and next year go by without getting in this Ring of Honor. Like, don't let it just be me, Drew, Colin, Ty, and Captain. Like, let's get a new member. I finally want a new member. Let's get a new member. Colin can't have 4 rings. Ty can't have 3. You know, like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Drew and Captain can't have 2 before I have 1. Like, fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's get a new member in here.
Okay.
Besides, if I don't win, because I think I do win this year. I think that, you know what I'm saying? I think that we're going to compete. This year is not last year. You know? But if it's not me, let it be someone new.
I think so this is what I think. I think for my take, my team, your team, and Jerry's team are going to be fighting for the playoffs. I don't think it's going to be so bad with how weak the West is. I think we're really fortunate for the West being so weak. I think it's going to be an East dominant playoffs. And so I think the 2 of us will make the playoffs. I don't know who, but I think it's going to come down to who wants it more, and just who wants it more. It's gonna really come down to who wants it more between the 3 of us. I think I see a lot of similarities in our teams. Only thing to separate us is if one of us starts consistently putting up 120 points, which you've already said that you're probably capped at 99, and you're content with that, and that might make the playoffs. But if one of us can eclipse 120 at least twice, would be, that would set one of us apart from that trio. Because when you look at La Familia and Ruben, they're making the playoffs. They're probably going to have first round buys. Ty is probably going to make it in the West. I don't know if any of those guys are going to make it after Ruben. Just seeing the fall of Colin, Branch Ranch just in Captain almost having the same team, and Drew losing Chubb. It's a toss up. It's a long season. Hey, I can't wait to be proven wrong on any of my takes. And if I'm not proven wrong, it's gonna be hell. I think it's gonna be hell because like you don't want me to be right, man. You really don't. I'm the last guy you want to be right because I'm gonna drive it home, and I'm not gonna be nice about it. And I'm gonna be like, cool.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like you might go on 3. It's like, dang, it's getting pushed off and pushed off. That first person you beat, I do think is going to get like a fucking wave of just shit.
And they shouldn't because they lost to a good team.
Right.
A team that probably deserved the win.
You're gonna like it's gonna be someone that because you have beef with everyone, so it's gonna be versus someone that like there's been some shit boiling over.
But yeah, I think our 3 teams. That's my take. Same team, roughly, and I think we'll be fighting. I think 2 of us will make the playoffs. It's just we'll see who. And then I got Alonso and Ruben with the first round buys. Probably Colin Branch, Captain and Drew in the loser league, which means we all make the playoffs. But that's my take.
All right. Yeah, let's go at it with Colin. Let's go out there. Let's put the top hat on. Put on that black hat. It's hard to wear. Like I remember when LeBron went to Miami, he said it was hard to put the black hat on just to be the enemy. But let's put it back on. Let's get a dub. Let's just keep going through the season. I love this shit. I love being mid-season, grind week to week. Checking the schedule, who you're going against, different injuries popping up, different things you got to adapt to. Bye weeks coming up. People getting off suspension, different harder start-sit decisions. Seeing really how each team's shaping out, who ended up being a bust, who ended up being, a sleeper. Like for me, like I wasn't big on Josh Jacobs. I had him for like 2 years. He was okay for me. He went nuts last year with Drew. I just did not see him doing that again. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. He still has time to turn it around, but
right.
I want to see. It's just cool seeing an era change in our eyes. Like damn, like people are getting older. New players are like rising. New teams can rise, and like people can get left in the dirt, left in the dust. Like your franchise can get left in the dust. Like you won you won the division. You rode that division high for the whole offseason. Like rightfully so, talking that shit. And then it's just been so long since you won the division. That's been your only winning season. It's like it just can get left in history. Like that's why it's just like dope that we're already at 9, 2 years for the 10-year. Who will enter? Who's gonna win these last 2 championships for the 10 years? Mm-hmm. 10 years, who has it? Like, I think I'm getting one of these. I'm getting one of these in my second ring, man. Oh, man. I'm doing it, bro.
It's not looking likely, man.
I'm doing it. I'm winning the division this year, man. Fuck you, Alonzo. Like, I don't know if the last time you won the division, but I remember when I've been good and we're going at it, I don't think you've ever beaten me for the division. I've always been able to hunt you down. Even came down to like I beat you by a half game that one year. Fucking not familiar, man. It's always just a pain in everyone's ass. Like it's just a pain in the fucking neck, man.
Right, man. It sucks. I have to face him.
He's just like you don't want to play him. His team can explode, and then it's just like the playoffs come. It's like fuck, I got La Familia, but then you're like, oh, like I got La Familia, like
right, 1-7.
Yeah, 1-7. So it's like, but it's not a stepping stone because I don't know how many people have beaten him and won. It's just like
you get stepping stone to the next round, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And he's had some first round buys.
Yeah,
I think it was just so funny. I didn't say anything because I think it spoke for itself when you put that he went 1-7. But
he's played 8 games
and lost.
He played 2.
So
we played 2, and they're both the same year for you. So
he.
No, and you didn't even play till you had the division win. I was just counting that as a win. But like,
all right, man. But that doesn't make Alonso's 1-7 playoff. Yeah, percentage any better.
It makes it better than your 1-1.
But I think I'm 500.
Like, that's crazy. Like I'm just so used to like that. For me, is like that shit's so fun, bro. Like fantasy football playoffs is like the funnest shit ever. And like last year was the first time I wasn't a part of it, and it broke my fucking heart. And I'm looking like, damn, bro. Like, you've only gone one time in 6 years.
Okay, man.
It's 6 years.
All right.
Like I was like, I feel bad. I'm like, damn, like, cause I feel like the joy is rising. I feel like the competitiveness is rising within you. I think that like this year would mean a lot for you to go to the playoffs and get like, like it's around Christmas time. Like it's just the vibes are just insane, man. I gotta get back there, bro. So like, no win is getting taken for granted.
Yeah, I mean. I think, like, it's not any fault of my own for not making the playoffs.
I think it's a little bit like your last game. It's some coaching.
Any of it is my fault. I think, unfortunately, for the most part, I've been more unlucky. And I'm more than willing to get into the numbers to show, like, how unlucky I I think I have been in recent years, but we're gonna let that one fly. We're not gonna dwell in the past. We're not past dwellers. We're gonna move on. You know, I love every single season. I love that we're in week 2. I can't wait till we get in week 5 where things start to actually like iron out. Final standing projections actually probably mean something.
So wait, let me get you on record. When do they start meaning something?
Probably like week 7.
Okay, see, it keeps on growing.
Week
man.
5 or 7, bro. It's right there, 5 or 7. I never said week 4. It's 5 or 7.
Week 5.
7.
No,
You want it
5.
to be week 5
because it's like.
But I think 7.
And it's like if we get closer, it's gonna be like week 8.
It's it's an estimate. I just think 5 or 7.
Bad estimate. Just a bad one.
5 or 7. Kind of. You know, I think 7's a little nicer, but.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, did you have anything else?
No, I'm fired up right now, man. Darren Waller, Thursday night, DW. Let's fucking go, man. Set the fucking tone, man. Set the fucking tone. We need to beat Collins' fucking ass this week. Beat his ass. Last year, I remember I was sitting there pissed because Colin had another, like I said, I didn't even realize, but he's never went 0-2. I just realized subconsciously, like him going like 2-0 last year or 1-1, whatever the hell it was, starting off solid, like. I'm sick and tired of Colin being able to fucking chill his way and then have some adversity, but then make it like, no, fuck that. I want him, coming off an off season, what I had to go through. I want him going through that shit.
Right.
Where I want to fucking send him a snap in 3 weeks saying, hey, man, keep your head up. Like how he did last year with me, which I did appreciate, but I want to send that message to him this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to send that message to you this year. I'm keeping my eyes on the Ofer team because I was the Ofer baby last year, man. It was just no friends. It was cold. It was like, there was like the joke on Twitter, like this tweet if you're 0-1, like this tweet, and the next week it was like 0-2, 0-3. It got to where it was like 0-5, right? And then the next week it was like this tweet if you're like 1-5. Like these motherfuckers even gave up on me. Like I'm looking around like, wait, I'm the only one that's 0-6? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't even make a tweet for it. So it's like, keep my eye on the overs. You're going over 3. He's going 0-3. Let's go to next week. Let's see who's got it, man. I'm ready to go, man. Week 3. Let's fucking get it, man. Let's get it, man. Big year.